Hey y'all, today I want to show you these guys. These are some notebooks that I've really come to enjoy, and they have kind of a long name, so pardon me if I have to look at it to tell you what they're called. So these are the Clairefontaine 1951 Clothbound A5 notebooks. So I've had two of these, as you can tell, and I have filled this one completely, and I'm about halfway through this one. So my plan today is to give you just an overall review of the pros and cons, but also show you what they look like when they're done, as far as the wear and tear and all that kind of stuff goes. So you can see if they hold up, because not all notebooks do. Sometimes spines break, pages fall out, that kind of thing. So we'll talk about the normal reviewy kind of stuff, and we'll also talk about longevity. Let's start with some pros and cons. So pros first. I love the colors. These are just two of them. They come in a lot of really great colors. This is the coral red, and this is the turquoise. Two nice, vibrant colors. It also comes in darker colors, I think, as well. One thing I really love about these is that the cloth spines are color coordinated as well to match the covers, which is really fun. So if you have a bunch of these sitting on your bookshelf, you can have all of these nice colors, just like this rainbow of colors on your bookshelf. And I think that's really cool. The paper in here is 90-gram Clairefontaine paper, so it's very fountain pen friendly. It's not going to bleed and feather and all that kind of stuff in the same way that cheaper paper would. This is very nice paper. So out of everything I've tried, which isn't everything, but I've tried a few different things, this works the best for me so far. So I really like it for that. It also has some kind of a satiny finish on it that makes it super smooth for fountain pens. So if you have pens that tend to be a little toothy or whatever, they might feel a little less toothy on this. So that's cool. One of my favorite things about these is actually just the cost. They're like $10, a little less, and they have, let's see, I think it's 192 pages. So they cost about half what a lot of premium notebooks cost with this kind of paper. So if you were to get a hardcover notebook with this quality paper in there, it would cost $20+ probably. But these, because they just have paper covers, they're cheap. So you get really nice fancy paper in a cheap package, which I really like. The ones I have are 8mm lines. I like that there's no vertical line anywhere. At first I wasn't sure about 8mm. It was really wide to me, but I've grown accustomed to it and I actually prefer it now over narrower ruling. So the 8mm works for me great. And I like how unadorned they are. There's nothing frilly or fancy about the paper. It's just lines. They're nice. They're faint enough that they're not really an eyesore or anything. I think it's a nice balance of being able to see the line, but not having it scream at you and compete with your writing. So as much as I like these, there are some cons. As I mentioned, the covers are just paper. It's a nice textured, kind of watercolory kind of paper. So they have a nice feel, but it just means that they're not going to be as durable as something that's more of like a leatherette or a hardcover or something like that. So you have to be a little bit more gentle with them. I actually made myself a little sleeve. This is a piece of my old pants or trousers for you English people. But anyway, I just made this so that I can slip my notebook into it so it's not rattling around my backpack and getting all scuffed up and stuff. So and that's helped. But the paper covers do require a little more care than some other notebooks out there, but they're pretty. I don't mind the covers at all. Another con, well, at least it's a complaint that people have raised, is that these notebooks don't automatically lay flat like some nice hardcover stitched binding notebooks. I think those people who complain about that really just need to break in their notebooks. I don't have a problem with these laying flat. So all you have to do is just take a few pages at a time, give it a good crease there, take a few more pages, press it down again, and just keep doing that, and then flip it over and do it from the back. And after a while, your notebook's gonna lay flat, flat-ish, flat enough for me. So yeah, I don't have any complaints there. Some people do, but I think if you just break it in before you start using it, you won't have any trouble with that. One thing I have noticed, and it's not a huge issue, and I can't really show this to you because I got my personal writing in here already, but maybe I can show you a little bit. Yeah, maybe. If I can get to focus. Focus. Anyway, it's right here where it's glued to the pages. As you break it in, as you use it, that might start to peel back a little bit, and you might be like, oh no, it's tearing. But I've had these two, and I've also used an A4 sized Clairefontaine Clothbound notebook. All three have shown that little bit of tearing along where like the cover meets the pages, but it's never actually broken. It just tears a little bit as you're breaking it in, but that doesn't grow over time. So if you see that, don't worry about it. So are there some cons? Maybe. I wouldn't really think of them as cons so much as just considerations. Just make sure you're okay with the binding and with the paper covers. And as long as you're okay with that, I think you'll love these. But let's talk a little bit about longevity. Since, like I mentioned, I've used these quite a bit. They've gotten some wear and tear, so I want to show that to you. So I used this one for about 6 months. It's about how long it takes me on average to get through a notebook of this size. Got some little ink splotches there, a little bent corner there. I think I tried to clip a pen onto the cover there and pushed on it a little too much, tore the cover a little bit. So again, you just got to be careful with these a little bit. And there's no water resistant finish on this like some paper notebooks or paper covered notebooks. So I've got just some water droplets from like my water bottle or something on there that have caused just a little bit of damage. The only other wear and tear thing to really bring up is on the corners here, you might get a little bit of fraying. Can I get that to focus? Maybe, that's good enough. Yeah, so you get a little bit of fraying along the top and the bottom of the spine, but kind of like the cover glue thing, it's something that happens and then it just kind of stops. So it's not something that's going to continue to be a problem. It just kind of wears in a little bit right here and right here. It's not going to fray all up and down. So all in all, I think that for what it is, it's really well made and really durable. I've never had any pages fall out. I've never had any serious problems. They're good, they're reliable, they're cheap. So I highly recommend them. I'm curious to know what you like as far as fountain pen notebooks. I've tried Clairefontaine and Rhodia and Leuchtturm, but yeah, what do you use? What would you recommend? I'm curious to know. But I think that's about it. So I'll talk to you later.